So who here has heard the rusty Rolex? Listen, once you hear the rusty Rolex, it's like you're part of the club. So this started many years ago. It was about 10 years ago, and I was coming back home with my then partner from a movie or something like that. And we were invited to a Shabbat gangbang dinner. You can't make it up. So I knew people, and I had been I had been by the place a number of times, and the agreement was we're just going to go for dessert, right? Because it's like we've been to one gangbang, we've been to them all. It's like, so we wanted the dessert. So we show up, and they have a big table. Like they have about a dozen people seated at the table, and I know 11 of them, right? So I say my highs and I go around, and off to the left is a person by the name of Levi. And Levi looks lost. And Levi also looks isolated from the table, from the crew. Like he seemed like he was rejected from the group of folks. So now I take interest. Hi, Levi, I'm Joshua. How are you? So I start to talk to him, and you can tell he's on the spectrum a bit. He's a bit autistic, which is understandable. I mean, it's really hard to get into the community or into a community space or even setting if social anxiety or social issues are a thing. And it's for those of us who know, it's like, okay, right? So I sit down and I start chatting with him. So Levi, tell me about yourself. And so he's from Utah, and he's a nurse, and he likes blood, and he likes intense stuff, intense sensations. So I'm like, cool. And he's like, but I'm really here to see pussy. Now I get why you're sitting here in the corner. Because as I was talking to folks throughout the evening, he was really abrasive in his language, and they weren't comfortable, they weren't used to it. So that's what happened, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. Now, what are you hoping happens? Well, I want to see pussy. I want to see pussy. All right, cool. So this is what we'll do. Hang out with me and just stay right next to me. And we'll navigate you. No. So I'm like, just hang out with me and I'll walk you through this experience. Because as long as if a person can function within the space, walk them through it. Like I've been doing this shit for a minute, right? And it's like, let's see. So Levi hangs out with me, and they start to migrate from the dinner table off to play. Now, there was two females there for the gangbang. There was the hostess and her friend. And her friend had her husband who was a cuck, but his cuckishness was very sad. Like, I felt like poor puppy sad. Like, there's like a different layer to that humiliation that just, it was really intense to watch. So he's moping into the bedroom. Here we go. He sits in the corner, right? And everyone's wearing all this white. But it's incredible. It's incredibly hot, and they're fucking doing their thing. So I'm chatting with Levi. I'm still just trying to get an understanding of his experience, his temperature, his expectations, to like soften. I want to be the buffer between him and everything that's happened, right? So I'm sitting and chatting. Right? So they're in the room, and the gangbang's in full swing. So I'm like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna walk in the room, and you stay next to me. You don't touch anyone. You don't ask any questions. You just stay right next to me. You got it? Am I gonna see some pussy? I'm gonna leave. You're gonna see some pussy. I got you. We're good. Three girls. There was three girls. There was the hostess, the gangbang with the cuck, and then the woman that was always invited to the gang. So we walk into the bedroom. The bedroom's this way. It's a small New York City, like 12 by 12, right? We walk in. Then next time, the Levi comes. It's like this, no shit. I'm exaggerating this. It's like this. Face against the wall. And they're all in the bed. They're all doing their thing. And they're going at it. Now, what's cool about kinky people is that we're also geeks, right? And they're there and they have everything, clothes are all over the place, and they're starting to wind down. It's about 20 minutes, and he's drooling, he's salivating, and he's doing his thing. So one of them starts to get off of the bed. She goes, "Can you pass me my Star Trek pennies?" And you see pennies fly. And she goes, no, this is Star Wars. I said, Star Trek. So that's the geeky comment in there. It's pretty fucking funny, right? It's like kinky people. So the one who was leaving was the one that's always invited. I forget her name. I wouldn't use it here anyway. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go out to her. I bring Levi with me. I leave Levi with my partner. And they're talking. She's entertaining him. They're doing their thing. She had wanted to go like 2 hours ago by now, like just the dessert. So I'm like, listen, we got to see this shit together, right? Start speaking to the woman. She's like, yeah, he was a bit abrasive. She brought me up to speed with what happened. So I'm like, this is first time. Would you negotiate? And I'll negotiate with you guys to do something. She's like, yeah, as long as he's respectful. So we're like, fucking awesome. So we sit down and we start to negotiate, and she's gonna dominate. So we restrain him to the chair. I forgot this part. We restrain him to the chair, and he's very fucking excited. So she strips down and she takes her panties and she puts them in his mouth, and he's fucking in heaven. And she's grinding on him. She's like, and then he starts to like get red and sweat, and he starts doing that. And he finally spits it out, and he goes, I couldn't breathe. I'm so congested, I couldn't breathe. I'm like, Levi, dude, you should have told me this before I stuffed the panties in your mouth. He was trying to ride that shit out. Like, I know some kink, like some intense people. He's one of them. Like, he was like, I'm fucking going, oh, right? So he spit it, spits it out. And that one kind of fizzled out because he almost died, right? So we were regrouping. So I have my then partner with me, and he finds out she's pierced. So he's like, get the fuck out of here. He goes, I'll do anything to see. Anything? Anything. So I look at my partner, I go, have you ever heard of the rusty Rolex? He goes, no, what is that? So I go, well, I like to put my hands in people, and I like to get the rectum right around my wrist, and I call it the rusty. I made that shit right on the spot. I like to call it the rust. It's my rusty Rolex. I said, I'll let you see her vagina if you let me put my hand inside of your ass. And he was, dude, no shit, disgusting. So I'm standing here, he's standing there, and he's looking at me like this. Let's do it. So I'm like, oh, fucking four, right? So as we're negotiating this, the couple, he hears what's going on, and he perks up. And he goes, honey, we're staying for this shit. Did you hear the story? Yeah. So the way it was fucking set up, man. All right, so let's say this is the living room. This is like 10 times the size of the living room, but it's this rectangular shape. The bedroom was off to where this gentleman is seated. I was standing here, we're here, and then the rest of the living room goes back maybe about 12 feet this way. He grabs his folding chair, and he brings it, he does this, like this type of seating. They all start to come out, and they all start to grab chairs, and it's this whole staging of seating. And now they want to see what the fucking Levi, after being such a pain in the ass all night. It was like, this is gonna get squared away. So I'm like, have you ever had anything in your ass before? Nope, I'm not into that gay stuff. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You've never had, no, nope. I said, let's go to the bathroom. I don't know what I'm looking for. So we go in, and I put the door, I have my foot on the door, because I don't know this guy, right? He's very intense. So I put my foot, I can drop your pants. And he bends over, and I go, you fucking lie. He goes, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't even know what I was looking for. So I don't care. I just want to know because I need to know the experience that we're coming into this. So getting some water. So we come back out. He's I'm not gay. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Leave. I don't care, man. I don't care. So thank you, Mom. So I need a chair. So we get a folding chair, just like this, and everyone's just like that. So I said, all right, Levi, I'm gonna have you kneel on the chair. And I'm gonna open you up. I'm gonna take my time. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want this to be a bad experience. So I get my glove up. As we were negotiating, the host heard his, I can't say his name, but he's a really nice guy. He comes over, he goes, oh my God, yes, yes. So he runs over, he gets all the supplies, and he comes back with the gloves and the lube and the doggy pads, right, for anything that may happen. So Levi's kneeling down, got my glove, got my Crisco, and we're doing our thing. And I start. And you know, when you put your finger in with the lube, it has that ring about how far it went in. So I go, and Levi's like, oh my God, let me get in. I pull out, get to the first. I'm like, dude, look at the ring. He was right there. I said, I have to get 3 more in, and then my thumb. This is gonna be a minute. Dude, no rush. All right. So we go back, and I start working. I get 1, and I start to work 2, and then Levi, dude, just 3, man. Look, we're right here. I don't know if I can do this. He's sweating. He's fucking sweating. That's all. He's like, I don't know if I can do this. But you're not gonna see it. All right, fuck it, let's go. So we get back on, and we start to work, and he's committed. So I get 3 in, and I start to get to 4. And now he's feeling, I'm like, Levi, push out when I push in, breathe, like, don't worry, like, it's all good. I don't care. When it comes to anal sex, one, you have to understand that playing in the ass, you can lead to shit, right? It's a guarantee. Have that conversation up front. Listen, if it's gonna freak you out, then don't fucking do it. But if you're good with it, if you clean up and keep moving, then fucking all good, right? The other thing is the feeling is supposed to feel like you're moving. It's that whole release from the body, right? So it's like when you can accept that experience, you can step into it. So I'm here. I shortchanged that. Like I didn't shortchange it. I used other language for Levi so he can get into the process of pushing when I push. So we're there, I'm there. And he's like, I don't know if I can do it. So he's coming back. Sweating now, sweating. Levi, look, 8 piercing. All right, let's do it. So he gets in, and now I go to my partner, I said, listen, the knuckle's not gonna, but I can get it to the wet. Would you show him if we get it to the wet? He's like, yes, let's do it. So, right? Levi's there, he's committed, I'm committed, we start working it. And I have him pushing against my knuckles. And I'm like, all right, Levi, listen, on the count of 3, I want you to take a deep breath and exhale and push out. I just breathe and make it a very somatic fucking experience. Very, very excited. 3, you ready? Deep breath in, exhale on 1. 1, 2, 1 on 2, I went in. Levi, show me the pussy. And just like that, we were good, and he showed, and we wrapped the rest of our Shabbat gangbang dinner with some dessert.